Although last year they were talked about in a big way as winning a Super Bowl. Adversity,
Right.
all year last year. Weren't able to get to the top of the mountain. This year, almost been forgotten about.
A little bit.
Monday Night Football, they say hello yet again. Joining us, ladies and gentlemen, is a man whose fashion is at the top of any profession that you can find, let alone the NFL. A man who can catch any ball that is thrown within 10 yards of his being. A man who has become a tag team partner of Josh Allen. Ladies and gentlemen, Stefon Diggs.
What's up, boys?
Let's go.
Hold on.
Congratulations, by the way. Good to see the good guy.
Hey, we appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I don't know if we're winning or losing right now. I guess we'll be able to see what the internet says at the end of it. But you have helped us, obviously, in joining this show numerous times. We appreciate the hell out of you. And let's just dive right into it, please. Why am I doing this? What is the...
Hey, chill out. I had like a little shoot, an old school football shoot. He found like old football stuff, and I'm not sure it was really football stuff. But hey, don't pay it no money.
Okay, because we didn't know, because at that time there was conversations happening about you and the Bills, and then you said something on your Instagram, and then one of the photos was a shin guard. We're like, damn, is Stefon Diggs getting hit in the shins right now? Does he feel like he's taking it in the shins, or is it just super fashion, Stefon?
Chill out. Spend some time in Paris. Don't judge me, all right?
Hey, listen, you got to do what you got to do over there, and for me, this made me a better dresser. You know what I mean? I'll put this thing on every once in a while when I look like an asshole, and all of a sudden I'm like, boom, that's fashion. Stefon Diggs told me that in Paris. Let's move on. How do you feel? I know you spent the offseason in Paris. There was obviously a conversation when you came back. Here we are just days away from the start of the season on Monday Night Football. How do you feel mentally and physically as a Buffalo Bill?
I'm excited. I feel like we had a good camp. We stacked a lot of good days. Wasn't too stressful as far as like health-wise. We put a lot of good things on tape early, especially just throughout camp and getting on the same page. I feel like we're all steering in the right direction. We kind of flying under the radar right now, and I prefer it that way. I feel like this is very like the spot a lot of us, prefer to be in. Last year we were favored in like majority of our games, which is crazy that I didn't even know. They told me that as of recently. Not nothing I really pay attention to, but it's something to say about this team. Like, it's a lot of guys on this team are guys who were counted out or late draft picks, or guys who weren't necessarily believed in. It got to a point where a lot of people believed in us. They wanted us to win it all. So at this point, I feel like we're treading in the right direction. It starts with game one.
Hell yeah. Go ahead, AJ.
When you're preparing to play a team like you are this week one, playing the Jets, do you study more of like who you may be matched up with one-on-one, the whole defense and the whole secondary as in general? Like, can you take us through a little bit how your preparation looks throughout the week?
Yeah, it's I kind of prepare week to week differently. It depends on the team and what they like to play. This team is a little differently. They kind of play left and right. They'll match up a little bit, depends on who goes in the boundary and where they at in the field. So it's kind of like down the distance, I pay attention to that. Then I pay attention to how a guy likes to play, depending on the guy. I pretty much try to study both of them, but usually I only go against one guy. Usually they match me up whatever their guy is. But it's different week to week. So going into the game, you got to prepare for whatever's thrown at you. But this week specifically, they got a hell of a D-line. They get after it. They got some great guys on the back, and they got some good players as far as that can fly around, make plays around the ball. So for me, I prepare the same way, but it's just like, it's the first game of the season. You know what it is. You remember what it was like. Y'all remember what it was like playing football, man. That first game, everybody's juice.
Hey, who's on the jugs over there getting after it? Somebody getting a little extra.
It's Christian Bedford, if I'm not mistaken, and Gabe Davis was over there.
Oh,
Gabe Davis. That's my dog.
Hey, how we looking?
How
are we looking in the wide receiver room? We feel good. We feel good about the depth. We feel good about the
great.
offense.
I feel like you guys should. You should be drafting Gabe Davis. You know what I'm saying? No, not in the later rounds, in the early rounds. I feel like he's going. Last year he got banged up a little bit earlier in the season. He's healthy right now. He's flying around. He's been making plays. So shout out to my man G.
Do you know what he told us?
What? Hopefully it was something good.
It is, in my eyes. You might judge. You're a fashion guy. You might enjoy it because I think it is fashion. He said that if a Bildo was thrown onto the field, he would grab it and put it on his helmet. Didn't he say that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He did.
I could actually see him doing that. I won't be the first person to grab it off his helmet. I'm gonna say that. But I'm not gonna say I'm not a fan.
Well, listen, we need to talk about this because a couple of years ago we had to tell people that those buildos do carry COVID.
Yep.
Remember?
Yeah, you gotta be careful with those things. They carry a lot of things sometimes. Depending on where they've been.
Well, yeah.
I don't know where they've been.
Point.
I mean, certainly, but we do need a gloved player to grab that thing first. So I think they're going to be looking at you for sure. Darius has a question for you, Stefon.
Yeah, Steph, I was going to ask you, man, been in the league now, we know you're going to show up every week. Been in the league now, you need 2, 3, 4 receiving weapons. You know, what have you seen out of Gabe Davis and the rookie Kincaid coming in, Knox? What have you seen the other pass catchers out there? And then my second question, there was some conversation about toughest position in the league, receiver, DB. I know Lil Bro just got paid out there in Dallas. Shout out Trevon. But which one do you think is tougher?
There we go. I like this.
All right, number one, first question regarding the receiver room.
Yeah.
Receiver room, tight end room.
I feel like we had some great additions, especially we were never short on talent. I don't think it was a shortage on talent as far as like being able to make plays and score points. I feel like we just added to the arsenal. We added young kid Kincaid is a guy. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't want to overshoot him, but from what I've seen, he's a playmaker. He gets his hand on the ball. Like, he's a good route runner. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those. He's another receiver out there that can make a lot of plays. So if we go in those big sets and you got all tight ends in the game, you really got some receivers out there that can make some plays. And then shout out to Trent. Trent has been balling out all camp. He's a guy that does everything. And then we got Hardy as well. Hardy's flying around. I feel like we got a lot of weapons. It's not like we didn't have the talent. We just added to the arsenal. And I feel like those guys have been playing at a high level throughout camp. And you're going to really get to showcase some of what they're good at on a Monday night.
And Richard Sherman and Michael Irvin getting into it with Keyshawn. They all got up from the set.
I saw that. That was. I was about to say that was cute, but I thought it was some like good receiver banter. I like the receiver banter.
Oh, so now I just assumed, like when Michael Irvin and Keyshawn got up and got upset, I was like, I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that wide receiver is harder than corner. I've always heard the corner is the hardest. I guess your family would know this absolutely the best. Corner's just kind of understood as the hardest position in football, I always thought. And then
It couldn't have been.
Oh, okay.
In my opinion, I mean, we talk about my opinion. It's not nothing to say much, but my little brother played receiver his whole life, and then he went over there and played corner. And I mean, he's been pretty exceptional as far as like having good ball skills, having route recognition. I feel like I always dated back, said I could play corner right now in the NFL. I don't think it's.
So your take is,
man, that shit'd get routed.
No. You're saying most wide receivers could go play corner. Limited amount of corners could play wide receiver.
Why are they a corner? 9 times out of 10 is what makes a corner? Because you can't catch. It's not because you can't stop.
It's because you don't. Pat, we've been on the team. I've been top 3 in the hands now. Come on, you know better than that.
Top 4.
It's usually because we don't want to have to depend on a quarterback, an offensive line, a play caller. We want to say, hey, wherever I go, put me on the island. I can lock shit up. I can get it done. So that's usually why that transition.
Not because they can't catch, huh?
No,
I mean, some guy. Hey, that's definitely the case for a decent amount of them. I ain't gonna argue that, but you would know. Obviously, your brother would know as well, and obviously, when you are a guy who has like a Richard Sherman, who played wide receiver, has the ball skills, has the toughness, can get over there and do it. It is a good transition. You can go both ways.
Well, I'd like to let you both know.
I feel like that's easy. Especially considering the fact that
easy.
If you can run, you can stop. You know what I'm saying? You can get in a defensive scheme. If you have a defensive line, if I have a defensive line, I'll probably be the debatable top 5 corner in the game.
They can't hit y'all no more. We can't hit you.
Why do I want to hit? I want to cover anyway.
You got to catch it. You got to take 2 steps. Okay, now we can. All right, now we can.
Don't want to tackle. Corners don't want to tackle. Safeties want to tackle.
Easy. Man.
Yes.
Like this.
So why don't you?
Real arguments here. Like, anybody want to get in this argument with me? I'm good at this.
I'm on your side. How do you feel about Travis Hunter? You got a chance to watch it. He's obviously playing. Yeah.
Listen, I'll tell you right now. Anybody that can play that many snaps, he's not only gifted, but he has a hell of a win. I feel like he's falling right under the tree of that Dahn, like, you know what I'm saying, playing both sides of the ball. He probably can even return. He probably can do everything. I feel like he's one of those special talents that like a generational talent, a guy that we won't see all the time. And he might even be a guy that can go in the NFL play both ways, man. You never know.
Coach Deion said that they better let him be the best on both sides. It's like managing the reps, which kind of leads to this question from Connor.
Yeah, Stefon, I mean, a lot has been said about Brandon Beane, and Von Miller just came out and talked about how, the PUP list, Brandon Beane made that decision more so for future Von, not Von right now. And you mentioned all the guys that have been brought in to help, the team take that next step this year. How has your relationship with him been, and how great is it to have somebody in the building like Brandon Beane who's so tied in with both the team and kind of knowing the direction that you guys want to go in?
Shout out to the mullet, one.
Thank you very much.
That's fashion, bro.
That's fashion, bro. Then two, I would say that Beaner, Coach Bean or GM Bean, whatever you want to call him, he's like one of the guys. He's a professional. You've seen him make some of the best moves as far as like not only with grabbing me, but grabbing Vaughn and drafting the right talent and figuring out, Josh needs and kind of building around him as well. I feel like he's done a great job, and it comes from a connection. It comes from having those conversations. Sometimes the GM to player connection is so far off, like they never talk, or you don't hear from them. You just kind of like, it's usually business with the GM, but you can tell this team in specific, they care about you from the top down. They care about you, and they feel like they're going to look out for your best interest and what makes most sense for the team. I feel like, especially with Vaughn can go out there and go hoop right now probably. But as far as like, would that be best for us? Would it be best for him, especially with the season that we want to have? And, even last year, like we lost him late in the season. We'd rather have him ready, a hungry dog, than rather somebody out there kind of like figuring it out. Just have him ready to go too.
Having that conversation with Vaughn, though, is not an easy one. Like that's not a, hey, we don't, because in Kansas City right now, there's a potential conversation happening with Travis Kelce. It's like injuries are going to come, and then prioritizing what games matter and what reps matter is a difficult decision to make for anybody, especially whenever guys want to play. You talked about him building around Josh Allen. You were one of the key pieces that was brought in to make Josh Allen great. Like, hey, if you look at the stats before Stefon Diggs joined the Buffalo Bills, a lot of people would say, hey, Josh Allen, pretty pedestrian, not that good. Deep ball, his percentages are terrible. Then you get dropped into the thing, bang, immediately through the roof. Now, he said he obviously worked on getting better, but you obviously made that offense better. When you're working with Josh, who's a different animal, Tone Diggs has a question for you.
Yeah, we can hear the jugs machine in the back, and we know that Josh has one of the strongest arms of all time. Do you guys just have to crank that up to 100 miles an hour when you're doing the jugs machine to deal with Josh?
No, it's crazy. Like for me, when I first got here, I used to talk like so much shit to him. Like, you don't even throw the ball that hard. So throughout practice, like I'll have like an end cutter or something like short, and he'll really show me how fast the ball is. And when it became like cold outside at one point, and I remember distinctively, like clear as day, he threw me a pass and you could hear the pass, like shh. I was like this, damn, I'm coming a little too hard. I told him at one point, I said, listen, don't throw the ball that hard at me. All right, okay, right now, unless you want some personal problem. Don't throw the ball that hard at me. Just give me a little touch. And I mean, ever since then, as far as like, even this year, I tell him like, hey, just take a little off it. He gets excited back there. You could tell like he doesn't even mean to throw it as hard as he wants to, as he does. And I'd be like, hey, just give me a little touch right here, and a little friendly reminder helps him. I feel like he'd be like, all right, I got you.
I like your relationship is one that is, been fun to watch from afar. And he came on the show, I think it was last week or something like that. And he talked about how you were voted captain and how your relationship is better than ever. How have you guys grown? And what do you think is possible with you guys?
I feel like, like a couple years back when I said I wanted to retire, Bill played it. That me saying that probably just had a lot to do with Josh. The relationship that we have and that we built organically. It's not like the fake, like, I can't call you or I can't text you. It's more so that the time you put in, you met somebody, you connected with them. Like even in my first year, we both were AP. I bought us both APs. Like it was like something that was so meaningful to me. And he always showed gratitude. He always showed appreciation. He always showed me love. So I feel like him welcoming me with open arms, that kind of made things seamless. That wide receiver to quarterback connection out there, it came natural. A guy wants to fly around, a guy wants to play at a high level. You kind of see that kind of trend now with they got quarterbacks out there, they go get a wide receiver and they look significantly better. But it also comes into the relationship, and that's what I feel like I have with Josh. I feel like the communication has been there. I feel like he's taking that next step as far as like, I don't know, they said this year was his most focused year, but you kind of see that step of, I'm leading this team, I got us, and I'm bringing everybody with me. So,
You ever give him any shin guards to wear?
No, hell no. I give him a lot of other things, though. I give him shit all day.
I like that. Go ahead, AJ.
you spoke of that relationship you have with him. Like, how do like if we see some teams that aren't putting up numbers offensively, I'm just wondering, like, how important is that relationship between the receivers and the quarterback? Because I would assume there's multiple times during games when you and Josh just kind of give each other a look, and he knows, like, all right, I see the coverage they're playing, you got it, this is what we're running, and you don't even have to speak on that. How valuable is it?
I mean, I feel like it's key to offensive success. Like, if you're a defensive team, this probably won't really relate to you or have nothing to do with you. But for those offensive scheme teams or those guys, you see the connection throughout the league. You see Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. You see Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. They coming from college and having time and a lot of time put in, and more so their relationship, like going to get your guy. You just see it throughout. Like, even, I guess, like, I would even take it as far as like with Tua and Tyreek. When Tyreek got there, you know, Tua looked like a hell of a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Like, putting that talent around a guy and giving a guy somebody to look first, that wide receiver one, like, all right, take the thinking out. I know I got a one-on-one matchup. I know my guy's going to win. You see what I'm saying? That goes as far as like taking that next step offensively. It makes your quarterback that much more comfortable. I feel like if you want to have success offensively, go get your quarterback a receiver. You know what I'm saying? First, you got to get a quarterback. You got to get a guy. But if you got a guy, you know what I'm saying, get him some talent around him, and then you'll see like the necessary step, like somebody that I'm interested in seeing taking that next step. And I'm a fan of football, so Trevor Lawrence. You know what I'm saying? Calvin really coming off a year of not playing. Heard he had a great camp.
Fast.
But Trevor Lawrence played fucking outstanding last year. You know what I'm saying? You'll see a guy, he got another receiver. He had weapons already, but he got another receiver, a guy that, you know what I'm saying, can win on the outside, can play inside. I feel like it just makes you that much better. So that's a team. For me, that's a team to watch. You know what I'm saying? Keep your eyes on them.
Okay, I don't love that. Colts got the Jags this weekend. Calvin Ridley, though, looked very fast.
Mm-hmm.
They were talking, like, some of the reps they were showing, dude looked like he was in fast forward.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, what's going on? He seems to be fresher mentally after the year off and everything that took place. And obviously, we can't wait to watch them finish second or third in the AFC South. But you're right. Those connections are magical. Also, connection, play caller and quarterback. Ty has a question for you.
Yeah, Stefon, you've obviously been in Buffalo for a couple years now, but how confident and excited are you going into this season, just, you know, having another offseason of being in the same offense with Ken Dorsey, and what are we thinking? I mean, is there a chance you're going to catch 150 to 200 balls this year, or what are the expectations?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Yeah, we would.
I'm
Thank you.
kidding. Basically, I feel like even when Dorsey was here prior, like our offensive like scheme or whatever, I don't feel like it has too many changes and new wrinkles. And I feel like he was in the offseason damn near drawing shit up, like drawing up the plays, drawing up things off of shit, like basically just cooking up. He was in the lab just cooking. And I feel like when we came in, we all got on the same page of, all right, this is what we're doing, having confidence in it and really just playing fast. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this year, that second year, last year was crazy. He was putting up a lot of points. It's not like we weren't scoring. It's not like we weren't doing things right. Those couple games that we lost, you can argue that, you know what I'm saying, we damn near won those games. It's a couple things that went wrong throughout the game that made us lose. But I feel like, I have 100% confidence in Dorsey. I feel like he's one of those coaches that he's not just trying to step on your neck. He's trying to break your neck 9 times out of 10. You know what I'm saying? It's an opportunity there. We're going deep. It's an opportunity there. We're going to take a chance. You know what I'm saying? He's never been a scary guy. And if you've ever seen him spaz, you know what I'm saying, you obviously will know that.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, has he still got the juice? Another year?
He has the juice. Like, he's trying to, like, bring it back a little bit. You know how it is when you got to be the right example. But I told him all the time, I was like this, we love to see it. You know what I'm saying? I got your back any day of the week. I can play for a guy like that. I promise you.
Boom. When he freaked that, oh my God.
I was like, that's my guy.
I was so pumped. We led the show with how happy we were that these people still existed. Like, pumped that these people still.
Because, you know, these days, like, you see a lot of robots. You see people who are always politically correct. When you see a guy show raw and real emotion, like, I'm like, damn, give me something to throw. I want to get involved.
Throw a shin guard.
Hey, listen, keep it on tuck, though. Don't just bring it out all the time. Like, I got to give you some swag.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
We've been looking at your Instagram. I've been trying to figure it out. You know what I mean?
I ain't been on IG. I deleted all my social media. I wanted to, you know what I'm saying, kind of like give me a little.
Whoa, I didn't know you did that. Why? You just sick of what everybody was saying? Was it our fault? Was it our fault?
Nah. I appreciate the banter. You know what I'm saying? We play an opinion-based sport. So, like, I like getting involved in mixing it up. But, you know, I just wanted to, you know, fly under the radar just like my team.
And free your mind a little bit. Don't worry about anything. Enjoy the hell out of yourself. Good luck on Monday night. The world will be watching, and I can't wait to see the show.
I appreciate it. Let's go.
Hey, happy Cap to see you on the chest, bub.
Yeah, you see me? Another year, man. Another year, man.
Hell yeah. No, it's 2 stars on there. Is that 2 stars on there?
Ah, that's 3.
Ooh,
Whoa!
okay.
That's almost 4. Hey, there's only 4. You know what I mean? There's only 4. That thing's full in there. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, all pro, Stefon Diggs.
Yeah.